All right, we live now, I guess. All right, start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Andy, do you want to do our roll call?
Mr. Basquill,
Here.
Mr. Lynch, Mr. Burzes, Mr. Silk. Here. Mr. San Francisco.
Here.
Mr. Sheridan.
Here.
Mr. Falcone. Here.
All right.
Your zoning solicitor and zoning officer are present.
All right, so our first application that we have here is the continuance again for the Cellco Partnership. Just continuing till next month again, I guess, still in talks with the
Well,
township.
we did receive a letter requesting a continuance from council for Cellco Partnership doing business with Verizon. In the request for a continuance, they're requesting a 60-day continuance to a date certain, which is July 20th of 2023. I would ask the board to make a copy of the May 12th, 2023 letter from council for the applicant. Council is Christopher H. Hubert. He made part of the record and subject to consideration by the board and a vote of approval.
Right. Does anyone want to make a motion for the continuance until July?
I'll make a motion to approve the continuance, 60-day continuance until July 20th, 2023.
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. There. All right, our next application is Z 2023-06, Lawrence and Josephine Schoppet, 158 3rd Avenue. The applicant is seeking variance relief from section 172-34B subsection 5 to allow for a one-story addition with the front yard setback. Applicant also requests relief from any other section of the zoning ordinance and may be realized during the zoning hearing process. Who do we have here on behalf of this application? How do you say the last name? I'm sorry. Oh, I got it right. Oh, look at that. All right. Yeah. All right. So Mr. and Mrs. Schoppet, if you want to come up, do we have a microphone out for them if they're.
Do not.
All right. We'll get you sworn in.
Thank you.
I do. You have a green light on. All right, good.
Yes.
Andy, is the file in order?
I was in order. We have the posting of the physical posting of the property, also have the notice that is placed in the local paper on pages, telling list of all the residents.
Sam?
Chairman, based on representation of the officer, I asked that following the application. Residents.
Thank you. All right, so we don't have anybody here as a party protestant or public comments, so the floor is yours to take us through your plans.
Okay, looking at that, what we want to do is just build a small one-story addition off the side there. If you look at the pictures, it's from the house to the street, we have 67 feet. We just want to use 22 feet of that from the house to where the fence starts. I don't know if you have any of the pictures that we provided or not, but.
Brought up here.
Right there. I mean, you can see from the house to right where the trash cans are, that's still where the fence starts. So we just want to build a one-story addition on that going across the driveway. So, you know, there really isn't any anything impervious, you know, other than a few feet on either side of the driveway would be used for the addition.
All right. Just bear with us for a second as we
problem.
get
My car's not running.
If I can,
yeah, please.
Obviously, this came in as a voting permit application. During that, I was used. The corner lot property is for Third Avenue.
Gilbert Street.
So as you can see here, this is the actual site plan used at that time. It shows a 49-foot setback from the paved surface of Third Avenue to the existing home. In that not the existing property is not conforming because it didn't include the right of way. In this case, right of way on Third Avenue is a 50-foot right of way with an 8-foot parkway. So if you keep at the bottom of the site plan there, it says 16 feet. That's essentially where the right of way stops on the property,
Okay.
which results in a
27.6, it looks like.
11-foot overall. Holding an 11-foot overall front yard setback.
Say that again, maybe 11 yard.
Yeah, so there's 11 feet technically in the right of way line and the proposed new.
And what is there currently right now between there? What was the,
Currently, right now, it would be 49.6 minus.
okay.
So the new addition would approach further into that line.
And this is a corner lot, so they're not, right? Is that correct? So they're not going up against the neighbor's house there, so no concerns with,
It's going towards Third Avenue. And like I
Yeah.
said, there's approximately 67 feet from the house to the street. And then we would only be asking for 22 feet total, which is 11 feet over
okay.
what's deemed at this time.
And, you have any concerns from your end on anything?
No, I don't believe there's any pushment in the precise triangle as a result of the project. Not an encroachment. It's just a narrowing of that.
And have you heard any feedback from your neighbors after advertising anything or any?
Just good stuff.
Okay.
Can you talk through the reasoning for the addition, like what you plan to do with it?
Oh, there's several reasons. First of all, the house is small. The interior, there is no actual dining space. It's a kitchen, living room. What we want to do is build a room there for me, basically for kind of now in the future. I suffer from cystic fibrosis, and with my condition, I have many medications and a lot of medical equipment as well. But as my health deteriorates, I will be incorporating more larger equipment, oxygenator, and things like that. And I just want to have a place where I can, be with my family and do, my treatments and things like that without having to be regulated to like, a back room or something like that. That's all.
So in essence, the hardship you're saying is the house is too small to take care of your health needs in the future.
Correct.
I just want to be sure I understand. I'm sorry, thank you. The dimensions of the addition will be 23 feet running down the side of the house, is that correct?
Correct.
And then coming out from the side of the house, is it 20 or 22?
22. 22 by 23.
Okay. All right, so it's at the same way as the diagram you. prepared
Basically, if you looked at
attached
the
to
picture, it'd be
application.
from the house to where that fence is right across the driveway. And then
Okay.
from there, from that fence to the street, I know there's all the different things, but there's another 45 feet from when the addition would be built to the actual street. So there's still a large gap of land that's visible.
Okay, thank you.
Any other additional questions from the board on this?
I make a motion to approve Z 2023-06. The applicant seeking a variance from section 172-34.
Second,
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Okay,
Thank you so
great,
much.
thank you.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Good night.
All right, next up is application Z 2023-07, Paul Scukas and Jeannette Rivera, 401 Timber Lane. The applicant is seeking variance relief from section 172-104A to allow for fencing beyond the frontmost portion of the building. The applicant also requests relief from any other section of the zoning ordinance that may be realized during the zoning hearing process. Subject premise is located in the R1 zoning district. Paul?
Correct.
And how do you pronounce the last?
You said it exactly.
I'm killing it tonight. All right,
Silent C.
yeah, Andy's the file in order.
Follows an order, both properties been. Notice. Notice. Of the time. And there's a list of properties.
Right.
And based on that's wrong. Property.
All right. Made it to the record and let's get Mr. Scukas sworn in.
I do.
And just make sure we don't have anybody here that wishes to make public comment. All right, the floor is yours, Mr. Scukas. Take us through your plans.
We're looking to push the existing fence out approximately 30 foot from the side of the house. We're not coming, say, maybe a foot forward from the rear right corner of the house, just to set a post. And then push it out approximately 30 foot from the existing fence now toward the pond. And then push it back 65 foot to basically just create more space for that existing fence. We just got a puppy about 3 weeks ago, golden retriever. We just want to give him a bigger yard to run around and play, and that's it in a nutshell.
So again, as well. To help answer.
Well, looking at the drawing here, so that's what I'm,
The ordinance, our current ordinance prohibits fencing on the front of the dwelling, even if it doesn't for
all right.
There's two front yards, one on timber and one on stone.
So, right, so that this right side that we're looking at up against the pond where he's bringing
That's
the,
considered a front yard.
okay.
I have 2 front yards.
The ordinance prohibits the variance. The fence extending beyond that space.
Got it. And that's, so everything we're seeing in the dotted lines is basically what's being added in now.
Correct.
Just to support that. All right,
So the fence that's currently in line runs about a foot in left of the rear right corner, back 65 foot. And then we want to push it out approximately 30 foot and just box it back in out 30 foot.
I mean, I don't really have any questions on this. I get the struggles, obviously, with a corner house for that, for what you can do with the two front yards. So if anybody else on the board has any
Why
questions
can't
here.
you use electronic fence?
Why can't I use electronic fence?
Yeah.
I don't trust, especially Sawmill. They just put the two stop signs now on Sawmill as you come off 252. So now everybody jams down Sawmill.
And there's an existing fence there now, right? You're essentially pushing that out.
Exactly, yeah.
It wouldn't make much sense to have the existing fence and all of a sudden the
I
electric on the other side of that.
mean, I understand that point. But the amount of speeding down Sawmill now past that one new stop sign is not a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Did you look into, instead of going out sideways, going back further deeper in the yard?
The problem is we're starting to run into like the woods and stuff like that.
That's why.
Yeah, we have like open space to the right-hand side of there. If you start pushing back further, we're getting into more, it's like pretty much a wooded lot back there. We're concerned about ticks, et cetera.
And you don't want to, it looks like there's open space to the left side of the rear house.
Where that kind of cutout is, there's a pond. There's two ponds on the lot. There's a pond that comes down from Aronimink. That's on the left-hand side. You really can't,
I'm thinking with that before.
that's where the pond is. The what?
Before you get to that driveway that seems to extend beyond the house.
There's a little bit of space there.
I'm looking at the aerial picture.
Yeah.
So between that roadway that extends past the house, back
Mhm.
towards the back of that.
The hardship is that he's corner lots, so you get stuck with the two front yards. I mean, I get it. I don't really see how this is impacting much other than us having a tougher restrictions on what we do with our fencing. We've seen this in here a lot, so.
Well, the issue with going left, like I said, if you kind of see that scallop there, that's a pond. So I really can't push out. I can push out a little
Oh,
bit,
okay. Yeah.
but not a whole ton. And then I think I might be running into issues on the other side with setback.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve Z 2023-07 pertaining to the subject property, the applicant for the relief of section 17204.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you very much.
Good
Thank
luck
you.
with the
Thank you for
puppy.
your time.
All right, meeting adjourned.
Could I ask you guys? I didn't vote. So I was gonna say no, and I don't want to be a prick.
These corner lots.
That was my thought. You mind if I talk? I was talking to Andy. He said they've been working on zoning changes. I mean, it's killing us. It's killing, it's making it.
They're wasting money.
They're wasting money.
here.
Well, that's
We're
why I'm just
wasting
saying,
time.
that's why I was saying,
Let them go.
you asked with the hardship. Seems like the whole time I would point out.
The other thing is, he could have just put the fence